Hi guys, today I'm going to go through the top 10 mistakes of the MCU, so let's get into it. Welcome back. Today I'm looking at top 10 mistakes of the MCU. For you, don't forget to subscribe and notification bell raise algorithm. So, yesterday I did the top 10 mistakes of the DCU. Now today we're going to talk mistakes of the MCU. Now I wrote a whole list, so let's start with the tone. My number one's of is why is it the tone's pretty much the same. When I say the tone, I say like the tone that pretty much sets what the movies are. Like when you look at the MCU, the tone is pretty much the same. Like it's all lighthearted. I think the only one that kind of wasn't like that was Winter Soldier. That was pretty much the only one. Everything else has just been they've all been the same. So we've had like 30 movies this and they've all been the tone. It pretty much stuff the same. Like I don't really. I hope Blade the tone is different. I don't really know. Deadpool 3 is pretty much gonna be the tone of the other two movies, the first two. So my problem is the tone. They all feel this. I think Winter Soldier is the only one where it actually didn't feel like the tone was serious and they stuck to it. Moon Knight was. They said it was gonna be dark and it wasn't that. The Secret Invasion was the same. I mean, Secret Invasion. I think they stuck to it. The problem is the execution to it wasn't that great. I have a big problem with the writing. Now, the writing they had. Now, Christopher Marcus and Steve McFeely, they pretty much wrote all of Phase 3. Now, Phase 4, we keep getting these writers. Like, again, Eric Pearson, David Callahan, who did, I think, Wonder Woman 84 and also did Mortal Kombat. Chris McKenna, Eric Summers, they've done the Spider-Man trilogy. Michael Wardren, who did Loki and the Doctor Strange, going to do Secret Wars, which I did not like the Ryan Doctor Strange that much. Jeff Loveness, who did Rick and Morty, and Man was kind of that's my problem. They keep getting these Rick and Morty directors. They get writers. They've pretty much only done one thing, and I think that's the problem. I think they should bring back Christopher Marcus and Steve McFeely because they had an understanding on how to write and stuff. Now, number 3 is oversaturation. All these movies here, you get all it's oversaturation. Yeah, all these movies, all of these movies right here. And okay, this is an old one, but let's be honest, this is all the movies we've had. And yeah, we've had a lot of movies here. We've had like what 20 something movies, and we still even got to play. That's not even including the TV shows. Yeah, no full overblown budgets. Now I think the only one where I think budgets work is the Avengers. Now that was a 225 B, but that's given how it had 6 actors there, well-known actors. Winter Soldier didn't really. I mean, it could be 177 was fine. Ant-Man was 160. Well, that's to do with the shrinking. Captain America made sense. He had a lot of people there. Like Infinity War Endgame, they make sense. Captain Marvel does not need to be 175. Black Widow doesn't need to be 288 for a Black Widow movie. Shang-Chi has no business being 200 million. Eternals didn't need to be 200 either. Like, Quantumania at 200 million, that's too much money. Guardians 3 makes sense. He had a lot of actors in that movie. Yes, it's just the overblown by this. The DC stuff is the same. But I think the difference between is that the MC, they know they'll get that money. The problem with the DC, they never get that money. That's why I hope that James Gunn he lowers the budgets. 5, the visuals. Now, when I say visuals, let's look at the Black Panther. Specifically Black Panther. There's others, but yeah. So there's the Black Panther visuals. Now, obviously, this obviously does not look, and obviously this does not look. This looks bad, and like there are some others. There's Infinity War. Ant-Man is another one. Infinity War. I mean, I think most of the visual Infinity War is good because they took more time with it. Quantumania is another one that like this doesn't look good. Neither is this. Yeah. The Thor Love and Thunder, that was one that you can tell the CGI wasn't finished. Like I think this is kind of this looks kind of bad. It looks like they're behind the green screen. I think the volume stuff is okay, but it's just when it's stuff like this, it's just. And then number 6, the jokes, which you've heard there's the jokes. Like as soon as we got to Guardians 3, there were jokes, but it makes sense why there were jokes in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because there were a bunch of people that didn't know each other, so it made sense. But they started doing this for every film. Tony Stark made jokes, but it's because Tony does jokes and stuff, but everyone else started doing it. And Drax started doing it, Thor and Hulk, and they started all doing it. And the big problem I have with the jokes is sometimes the jokes work, sometimes they don't. And yeah, so that's the problem I have with the joke. 7 have the characters. Now I say specifically maybe Thor, but I don't really know much about Thor. Like Thor, Hulk, Thor, Hulk, um, Thor, Hulk. There's some Drax. There's some stuff that they change from the characters. I get why they do it, because sometimes they change stuff in the comics. Most of them are pretty much accurate to the source material. Spider-Man, they've changed a bit with him, which I don't like the changes. And yeah, let's get to number 8. The biggest problem I have is the Disney Plus shows. Now, all the MCU shows we've had. This is all of the let's get specific. These are all from ABC to Netflix to the young adult series. All of this is all Marvel Studios right here now. These ones are specifically owned by Marvel. We got WandaVision, Loki, the Falcon was Loki, What If, Hawkeye 5. We had 5 Disney Plus shows in 1 year. Then we had Miss Marvel, we had Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk. We had 3 in 1 year, and then we had 2, and then we had the holiday special, and then we also had the Werewolf by Night, which there were presentations, and then Secret Invasion. We just had that. We're gonna have Loki. What If is going to be 2024. We're going to get Echo 2024, Agatha 2024, Ironheart. You see, it's oversaturation, dude. The freshman year is going to come 24. More Zombies in 2024. Vision Quest 24-25. So it's like there's so much Disney. This is all we've had. This is all stuff we'll be getting, and all stuff in the future. See, all these shows, most of these only happen. Like we don't need Agatha, we don't need Echo. Wonder Man, do we need that? I don't think we do. So yeah, number 9 is the music. Like most of the music is really not iconic. Like I think Captain America one's fine, Iron Man's fine. Black Panther's one's okay, Black Widow's okay. The Guardians of the Galaxy one's fine. The problem with the score, they all feel the same. I think the one that people know is Avengers theme. But that's because they play them in all the movies. It's more iconic. And yeah, that's the problem with this. Like when you go to DC, like the scores actually like Man of Steel's one, the Superman's score, Batman's score, Wonder Woman's score, the Flash score, Aquaman, like all those scores are memorable. Like you look at this, they're not memorable. And also the effects on the Marvel products. Now we have the Avengers video game. Now people are criticizing it because the characters that are pictured here, they don't look like the MC ones, and I keep telling people this was not based on the Avengers. They weren't based on the ones from the MCU. They were doing their own thing with it. That's why they don't look like the MCU. And then the same thing happened with the Guardians of the Galaxy video game. People say, why didn't they look like the MCU? Because they weren't like the MCU. They were doing their own thing with it. And then Spider-Man, they really didn't do a Spider-Man because it was by Sony. And they pretty much said from the get-go it was not going to be the MC Spider-Man. They're going to do their own thing with it. And obviously we're getting a Wolverine game as well, which we haven't had a Wolverine MC. Well, we will get him in Deadpool. But yeah, so yeah, it's the problem. And also the universe, the 616 universe, Marvel. Now people are like, is it connected to the MCU? Because they said in Doctor Strange. Actually, it's not really 616. I call it the 19999 because it's always that. That's what the Marvel is. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much all the mistakes with the MCU. So guys, so much my videos, my next one. Bye.